Hey guys, what's up? So today I finally decided that I want to go down memory lane and explain pretty much what I've put up through with my entire life of scleroderma. A lot of people have asked me different questions about it, and I kind of just want to hit as many points as I can in this video, trying to explain what exactly it's done to me and what it does to me now.
Yeah, so we read like multiple comments asking about why my husband looks this way and why he's not gaining weight, saying that he needs to go to the gym and he needs to eat a lot and that he needs to fix his teeth. If my husband could actually do it, then why not? But the thing is, there is reason why he could not actually do all of those.
I take all kinds of medicines that'll help with the absorption and stuff in my gut, but it only goes so far. If you see what I eat on a daily basis, I should be gaining some weight, but I don't ever.
Yeah, he can't eat too much because it hurts his stomach. If he eats something with onion, garlic, then it's gonna also mess up his stomach. He's gonna get bloated. That looks like a pregnant woman, like 3 months pregnant
three
woman.
months pregnant. So that's called SIBO, which is like an overgrowth of bacteria in the stomach, which causes all kinds of problems. And since there's an overgrowth of the bacteria in the gut, then it fights over all the food and nutrition that I get. So I don't usually get all of what I eat.
So it's like you eat, but your stomach doesn't absorb the nutrients, and you just poop.
Yep,
poop
it disappears for the most part. Yeah.
Second, his skin. It's not like as elastic as a normal person.
It has gotten better. I used to not be able to make a fist either, but my skin has loosened up a lot over time with the medicines and stuff that I've been on.
The reason why like your muscle is like that, because it's the medication that you...
It's the prednisone.
Yeah, that you take to control the illness that you had before. Yeah.
So the prednisone is like an immunosuppressant. It's a type. It is a very low dose that I'm on currently, but it does play a big factor into trying to gain muscle or trying to gain weight. It should actually help me gain weight, but since I have the problems with my stomach, it just makes it ineffective.
His lips like that
are so thin.
It's also because of the skin tightening, right?
Yeah, if
especially
you can't see it in my face. My skin is like super tight in my face. It's not as tight as it used to be, but it used to be so tight that you couldn't even do that. It does affect my smile, and that's why my teeth pop out so much than what they're supposed to. It's not that they're just so crooked that's why they stick out of my mouth. It's because my skin's just so tight that it pulls it back. So that's the way why it looks like that. As to why I haven't done braces or anything like that, is because my doctor always told me that it wasn't really going to work. It was just going to go right back into, even if with a retainer and everything, it would just fall back into being crooked again. So I was just like, well, that just kind of defeats the whole purpose. So, and now to go back to the beginning, whenever I turned about 13 years old is whenever I started experiencing symptoms of scleroderma. My mom noticed that my hands were starting to turn like a blue, almost black, whenever I would go outside and play or go do stuff outside whenever it was cold, or even inside whenever the temperature would change from being like hot or being cold. Like I come in from a hot summer day, it'll turn blue. This is called the Raynaud's phenomenon, which what it does is it's restricted blood vessels that are causing the blood flow not to get to where it needs to be, and hence why it turns purple, and I lose sensation in my hands a lot. Same could be said with my toes, feet, or just whatever extremities. Hasn't been that bad in my face or anything like that, but
it's getting better now. The disease is in remission, so he doesn't have any ulcers in here, or even in here you just see red on it, but at least it's not something that has a hole before.
It's not an ulcer.
It's not an ulcer anymore.
So to continue the story, I went to go see a doctor in Oklahoma where I was living at the time, and they said that I was showing symptoms of lupus. So that's what they wrote it down as, and they gave me a couple of medicines to try, and they really didn't work or do anything for me, because I was getting acid reflux, all kinds of stuff that a 13-year-old really shouldn't be getting. My dad actually ended up getting a job here in Houston, and That's why we had moved out here to Texas. So I went to go see a new doctor that was more renowned in autoimmune diseases and everything for kids. And that's when we found out that I actually had scleroderma. So they misdiagnosed me in Oklahoma and actually diagnosed me with the actual thing here. I had really good doctors though, and they knew what they were doing. They put me on the right medicines and stuff finally, but it did take a while to finally figure out like what was wrong, because a lot of other problems started popping up as I was going through high school. Like I was having really bad heart palpitations, like I was getting extra beats that would constantly skip. I couldn't even go up the stairs without my heart going into like 160, 180 beats per minute, basically. Yeah, it would be really scary, and like I didn't even really do anything. It just does it because the electrics in my heart just weren't working properly. Eventually, I did get admitted several times to like the ICU and everything, and they'd always have to shock my heart out of the rhythm. I almost struggled with like kidney failure because I would get close calls with like sepsis and stuff like that because I would get the ulcers on my elbows and then bacteria would get in it, and yeah, it would cause a bad day for me.
So it was a lot of complications.
Lots
in short.
Lots of complications.
That's the reason why you are where you are right now, and so I think people should understand that it's something that he was not born with. Yeah, because you were normal when you were a kid, right? You could play soccer.
So, I used to be in track. I did football. I did all kinds of stuff up until 13 whenever I started. Yeah, when I started experiencing the symptoms of it and everything.
And it was very chubby when he was also a kid. Like he had chubby legs.
I had muscles and stuff, man.
Like fat legs and like even
we're gonna have to find that picture.
Face. Oh, this was a Scott. I was like, oh my god, you were so chubby and cutie.
Yeah, I actually had some.
You have some like this.
I wasn't that chubby.
Something like that.
like I said, I was running track and doing football and everything, and it was good times until my lungs stopped functioning like they're supposed to.
Well.
Yeah, because I just blood flow was not getting to where it needed to be. In 2010, actually, I went in and got a defibrillator pacemaker put in, and that pretty much solved a lot of the issues and stuff I had with my heart. And not too long after that, they did a couple of regimens of Cytoxin and IVIG, which was by my doctor I see now, and I still see, Dr. Marguerite Mays, which is one of the best doctors in the world for scleroderma. So I basically owe her my life for getting me to where I am now.
Yeah, and you also mentioned to me that since you got it early, that's why there was like a bigger chance for you too,
Yeah, since your immune system is still kind of developing as you're younger, it's quote unquote easier to try to treat and fight off the what's in your immune system.
Yeah,
basically.
versus
if you're already older and your immune system's already in place, then it's harder to try to destroy and basically rebuild it, which a lot of the medicines like Cytoxin will try to do. The main thing is you want to basically regrow your immune system so that you don't have scleroderma constantly knocking on your door. So that's why the skin's looser, heart is not as in bad condition, but I mean the scarring and stuff like that was caused by the disease is still there, and of course it's not going to go anywhere until they can find out some way to reverse scar tissue, but I haven't found that yet, so still looking.
You weren't in the same place that you had 11 years ago. Yeah, that's why you didn't also enjoy your childhood life. Yeah,
well, I didn't. It was basically my late middle school, high school life. I didn't really get to.
He's a late bloomer, by the way, guys.
Yeah. So moving on to babe, what did you think whenever I told you first off that, hey, by the way, whenever we first met each other, I'm sick. I have scleroderma and everything.
I didn't know.
What did you think?
What was that. Even when we were in the phone call chatting, and he started saying me all these things, all this terminology, I was bored, and I didn't really mind about it. I was just what was he talking about? Okay, I was just continuing. I wasn't something that afraid or shocked, or I was just okay. I was thinking it was just some type of the same disease that I don't know.
So she didn't even think I was sick.
Yeah,
she didn't even know.
I did not think that it was that severe, because I didn't even have time to Google it. I was just listening to the conversation that he just said he got sick when he was a kid, and that's my understanding, was just like that. And then when I saw him in person, I was just kind of like, okay, so I was in my mind, I was just, oh, you're not eating good, I'm gonna feed you more rice because you need food. Until I realized, and she explained it to me and all of this, and I saw other people having the same disease. It was actually a deadly disease, like, you know, like it was a very, you know, like, is that considered rare disease?
It's rare, life-threatening, yeah, all the above. Especially in males, it's really rare. It's more common in females.
But you survive it, which is so good.
I'm surviving it still, yeah.
But you survived the phase that was the critical one. That's what I was saying, right?
Now all I gotta do now is just take my maintenance medications and just...
How many maintenance do you have right now? 5, 6?
Like 6 medications.
6 medications, just to suppress it, I think, that's what it is.
The prednisone is basically to help keep it suppressed, and then the others are for my heart, to keep it beating normally.
Yeah,
quote unquote.
Yeah, but at least right now he can do a lot of things that he thought he couldn't do, and even his doctors couldn't do, like, you know, that's why
whenever I went hiking, or when I flew to the Philippines to go see her, all those things were not supposed to be possible, but I'm still here.
That's how you're meant to be, because, you know, we're two completely different person. Like, I do all these things that you don't experience, and vice versa, you do things that I don't, kind of like that, you know? It's like positive or negative. You know, just like a battery. That's why it got negative and positive charge.
It's just the package that was bundled that came
like
together with this
that.
relationship.
Yeah, that's why it's working. You know, kind of like that, right?
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much a pretty brief summary of everything.
I know it's boring for other people that are just watching, but, you know, I mean, this is really the story the story of his life, and that the people are actually like messaging us and keep asking us, like, what happened to my husband and why he looked that way, and why, you know. But, you know, guys, there is no need to, you know, to be rude and, you know, kind of stuff like that. Like,
yeah, I'm sure we're throwing that into the wind, but whatever. It's just, like,
I mean,
I got scleroderma, guys. That's the only reason why I look this way, and it's not going to change anytime soon.
I mean, I know the trolls are trolls, but sometimes, you know, it's already below the belt. I mean,
it gets annoying. That's all. It's just like, we listen to it a lot, so it doesn't bother us as much, but at the same time, it's just like, bro, do you guys got anything else better to say?
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, everyone has their opinion, but I hope, like, you know, you guys, like, think before you say super negative words.
But to those that keep saying, like, all the nice things, and it's just like, why are you guys making fun of this guy? He's sick, leave him alone, who cares? You know?
Like, there are also people like that. Yeah,
thank you.
I mean, we don't have time to do something like that, because for us it's just like, okay, haters or not haters, I mean, you know, you are part of how our community,
part of the ecosystem of our community.
Why our community and our social media started climbing up, and we thank you all for that.
Yeah, we thank everybody that watches our videos, rather
haters or not,
whether you don't like us or not. We're just thankful that you're here to watch.
Yeah, well, that's about it, guys. If you have any more, like, questions,
light up the comments, because I will try to answer everything as briefly as I can, or, well, in more depth if I can, but this was just kind of like a little explanation, and if I need to go into more detail later, we can do that. But
yeah, so we're gonna end this video. Hope you like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe, okay? Bye.